So guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how to replace the coolant of your radiator, but I'm going to do as the manual prescribes. I'm going to replace the water and clean reservoir, which is just under the rear shock. So in order to do that, you have to replace, I'm gonna show you the procedures, but also you have to remove the rear shock in order to reach the reservoir. This is what takes a long time. In order to make things easier, I'm going to remove the wheel, the rear shock, clean the rear shock, lubricate the bearing, and then access the reservoir, which is just here, but it's just under the rear shock. Okay, so let's get the job done. So before you begin, you have to support the front of the bike with like a belt, a hoist, or some sort of support. This is to ensure that the bike won't fall, ensure that everything is tied up. So what I did, I used like this on this side and on the other side, and one on the front wheel until the center stand. So you have to leave your rear wheel off the ground. The first thing to do is to remove this bolt here. This is a number 17. And then once you remove it, you remove the one right here. So you hold it back with the 14. So this is the spacer, which is right inside. So I'm going to clean up as well. So you can take the opportunity, clean up these two and lubricate. Once you remove the top bolt, the rear shock is loose. So unfortunately, I couldn't remove without removing the rear wheel. It's almost impossible because you don't have room to make the rear shock go through this hole here between this part of the bike. So you have to remove the rear wheel. It makes your job easier. So guys, you have to leave this free, the arm, the swing arm, and then you find the exact position. There it is. You have to fiddle around a little bit and find the exact position that this part here will fit perfectly onto the reservoir. Not very convenient and easy thing that Honda made on the Africa Twin. Let me show you exactly what you have to do. Your rear shock is positioned like this on the top here. You have to turn on that side and move the swing arm until you find the space to make it go through the coolant reservoir. Is like this. Turn a little bit anti-clockwise, do it like this, and then you move the swing arm until you find room to make it go through. Before removing the reserve tank, I'm going to remove the draining bolt, which is this one. You have this three, is the one right in the middle that has a washer. You can see a copper washer. Here's like a copper washer that you should change. In order to drop the coolant, you have to open this. So everything is gone. Now you have to remove this bolt, one right in the middle of your screen, which is the one that holds the reservoir. This is a number 10. You have to raise the swing arm up to the highest position in order to access. You can place one of these, or you can use a wrench. So now that you release the bolt, coolant reservoir is free. Okay guys, now you clean up in the inside. It doesn't seem to be that much dirty, because usually it accumulates dirt in the inside. You cannot see it. It may be here. And I'm gonna clean up the whole thing, and the manual prescribes us to do that. This is a good time for you to check the hoses. There's one here and one back there. You can remove them and have a look if everything is okay. Before you start pouring the new coolant, use a little bit of new coolant to clean up the remaining in order to decontaminate the whole system. So now we are going to begin closing the system in order to pour the coolant. So the draining bolt is on here. It's a very low torque, 13 Newton meters. Don't forget to change the washer. Yeah? Get your torque wrench, because if you over tighten this bolt, you're gonna be in trouble, because you're probably gonna damage the aluminum parts of your engine. Okay guys, this is such a pain to install it because you don't have room in order to fit this nut. So once you reached the top, I poured about 1400 ml, 1.4 liters. So you start your bike and wait until the bubbles come out the air. Coolant replaced, reserve tank washed up. The system I flushed a little bit before replacing the coolant. Check the hoses, so everything according to the manual. In the next service, I have to check the pump and other components of the cooling system. But for this time, 35,000 kilometers, that's just enough. If you don't want to clean up the reserve tank, I wouldn't bother at this point because it wasn't that dirty, especially because my bike is only 1.5 years. So if your bike is older, it may be some residue at the bottom. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions, leave your comments below. I'm more than pleased to help you guys. All the best, yeah?